And for more on the situation in Ukraine, we're joined now by Stephen Fish, who's in San Francisco. He's a political science professor with the University of California at Berkeley. Stephen, always great to see you. Welcome back to the broadcast.
My pleasure.
Luhansk is on the brink of a humanitarian catastrophe. Russian convoy lined up, but Ukraine is obviously suspicious. It's loaded with arms, not relief for the people there. What is the next step for getting aid to the people there while this convoy still remains stalled?
Well, it's not clear that even getting the convoy through would actually bring a great deal of aid. But right now the convoy actually is stalled, and I really don't see an easy way to get aid to the people in Luhansk as long as Putin is pushing forward with his campaign. The Ukrainian government cannot be expected to simply allow a large convoy of Russian trucks to come through unchecked. And it's going to take some time to unload the goods that they have in them. And so I really don't see an easy end to this anytime soon.
Reports from Kiev, Stephen, are that the rebels are on the run, but our reporter in Donetsk, I don't know if you just saw, she says the rebels are firm in their resolve, well organized, stocked with ammunition. They need to continue the fight. Where are they getting their support?
They're getting the support from Russia, of course. They might be pretending to be firm in the resolve, and certainly there are pockets of rebels who are firm in the resolve. But the truth is that with the Ukrainian government now getting its act together militarily, the rebels cannot possibly stand where they're at right now and maintain their positions for long without massive new support from Russia. And the mayor of Luhansk claims that that is forthcoming, and it might well be. But if they're going to survive, they're going to need more material, more weapons, and more people from Russia.
How important are these talks in Berlin to stop the fighting? We know that they've been called off for right now, and they will be picking back up later on in the week. Politically, how do you negotiate a ceasefire and effective border controls during all of this?
That's a good question, but frankly, the talks are of virtually no consequence. As long as Putin is intent on pressing forward with his campaign to destabilize and perhaps take over parts of East Ukraine, these talks are just window dressing. Until the Russian government is serious about a ceasefire, which so far it has shown it is not, these talks will just be a waste of time.
So the other countries there who are present, Germany, France, will they have any influence?
So far, they've had very little influence. The French and Germans have been very vocal in recent weeks about the need for Putin to pull back. He has not responded. So it's hard to see, short of a real military defeat, that is a defeat for Russia, these talks making a great deal of difference. Interestingly, since the beginning of Putin's whole Ukrainian adventure, beginning with Crimea, and then his pressure on East Ukraine, he's been remarkably immune to pressure from the West. These sanctions have been applied. He hasn't really backed off. The West has made more noise recently, including France and Germany. He has not backed off. It's hard to see in the short run that he's going to shift policy just because the Germans and French are telling him to do so.
There have been some reports that Ukraine has raised a flag in the suburb of Luhansk and that rebels are losing control, obviously, of Donetsk. Where might they go next?
Well, they will probably blend back into the local population, the ones who are from there, from Donetsk and Luhansk. They'll just blend back into the local population and go home. Some of these people are just ordinary men who have joined these militias. The ones from Russia will probably go back to Russia. So I think this whole thing could collapse fairly quickly unless Putin decides to send in a larger force and reinforce the rebels. But right now we can plan on the rebels, if they fail, just blending back in or going back to Russia.
Stephen Fish, thank you so much from the University of California at Berkeley, joining us from San Francisco. Thank you.